Welcome to Mogul Talk One-on-One. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the music industry. We're going to talk about the music business one-on-one. Where is the money? Okay, this is important because a lot of people want to be in the music industry. A lot of people don't really understand what it takes to be in the music industry. And today's music industry is a lot different from the music industry 20 years ago, 30 years ago. The bottom line is I tell people, and I can speak on this because I'm still a songwriter with ASCAP. I still have a publishing company with ASCAP. I've worked as an A&R. I've worked as an assistant A&R. I've worked as the guy that just hand out tapes at clubs and, well, when I was growing up, cassettes and records, and I've done the street team work. I've been inside Uptown Records. I've been inside Bad Boy Records. I've been inside the Universal Group building for meetings. I worked at FUBU Records. I helped put together the Fatty Girl album. I can speak on this, even though I've never been an artist. But let's talk about it like this. First thing, you gotta understand something. When you're an artist, you are work for hire, okay? You don't own the record company. Now, let me take it back to this. Many years ago, Def Jam Records sold. I think they sold, I'm not sure if they sold to Island or whoever, but they sold, right? Russell Simmons decided to sell. And LL Cool J, it was reported that he felt the way. Big shout out to Todd Smith. Good dude, real good dude, seriously. He felt the way, right? Because he felt that they sold for all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Let me get this off my camera. They sold for all this money, and he felt he deserved a piece. No LL Cool J, maybe no success of Def Jam. I got spiders all on the camera. It's killing me. Either way, he might be right about that because he obviously was the #1 artist on Def Jam, the first ones to give them platinum records, the first superstar off the record label. So he has a right to feel how he feels. But I also remember reading that Russell Simmons had made a statement back then that said, as much as I love Todd and I look at him as a son, this is not his record label. It's mine. He did not start this record label. People got to understand, Def Jam really started as a management company, Rush Management. Lyor Cohen ran that. And then they developed into a record label. But he does not own this. Ownership and profits. That's a big deal. Go to my Etsy store, Mogul Mindset, one word. You can look up ownership and profits. You can get the t-shirts and the sweatshirts. Innocent plug, and I'm gotta plug your business, right? Etsy.com, what's happening? So that made a lot of sense. You don't own the record company. You are an employee. You're not even a partner. You're an employee. Because if you're a partner, then that means you're doing basically a 50-50 deal. You put up 50% of what it takes to put your records out, promote your records, produce your records, radio airplay, put them, you put up half of the money. Now you're a partner with them. But when you're just an artist, then you are going to get paid less than everybody else when them records sell. And I'm going to show y'all some numbers or what have you. We're going to talk about some groups that really were super popular, but also super broke. Okay, so let's go right into the 360 deal. The 360 deal recording contract will basically state that a record company is going to put up all this money for you, but they want a percentage of everything you do outside of even working for them and recording records. So if you're on tour, they get part of your tour money, they get part of your merchandise money, they get part of whatever you do. If you get booked, they get part of your booking money. If you going on TV shows and they pay you to go on a TV show, they get a percentage of that. 360 deal means they get paid completely around the board for whatever you do that has to do with the project that you put out for them. So if you publishing money, they get a piece of everything you do. So when they give you all that money up front, people gotta understand, a recording deal is not a deal. A recording deal is really a recording opportunity, because a deal works out beneficial for you. So no recording contracts will ever be beneficial to an artist who brings just artistry to the table, because that's not a deal. They're giving you an opportunity to put you out on their platform that they own. And also, I remember reading Russell Simmons' very first book that he ever wrote, and he said, every recording contract that I sign, every time I sign an artist, that's $1 million I might make, but basically $1 million I might lose. Excuse me, I just gotta get this goddamn spider's killing me. It's $1 million I might lose, because you don't know if you're gonna make your money back. Because every time you sign a deal, you signing away $1 million, saying basically, I'm gonna give you this loan called a budget. And this budget, you're gonna record your albums, you're gonna produce your videos are gonna come out of that budget. Your everything is gonna come out of that budget. So when you go out there on the road and you go on tour, you have all this amazing pyroglyphic things, and the fire is going, and the crowd is going crazy, and things is exploding. That's all coming out of your money. You're already in a deficit when you sign a record contract. You're not in a plus, you're in a deficit. As soon as you sign a record deal that you have basically no control over, you owe. So if you pop in and you think you good because they gave you $600,000 or $1 million advance, that's none of your money. That's their money. And they're gonna get every dollar back from you, or you're not gonna record anymore. So let's go into some groups, and I'm gonna throw those groups out there that, in my opinion, probably had some of the worst contracts ever. But let's go back real quick. Some people go broke because they just have bad spending habits, even though they have money, okay? And some people go broke because they had a really, really horrible contract. Horrible contract. So there's a couple of reasons why you can go broke, okay? MC Hammer didn't go broke because MC Hammer had a horrible contract. MC Hammer went broke because he overextended his generosity to thousands of people, and that's what caused his downfall when it comes to money. En Vogue went broke because they had a horrible contract. New Edition went broke because they had a horrible contract. Tony Braxton went broke because they had a horrible contract. 112 went broke because they had a horrible contract. You know what I mean? So I just want y'all to think about that. I'm gonna throw some of these images up real quick, and then we'll be right back. Stay with me. Welcome back. I'm your man, Kadon Sterling. This is Mogul Talk 101 for the entrepreneurs, man, for the entrepreneurs. And this episode is the music business 101. Where's the money? Let's talk about En Vogue for a second. Then we can go into TLC and all that other stuff. En Vogue was the #1 female selling female selling group, period, right? 28 million sold, right? 28 million sold. If albums were going for $10 or $12 or $15 back then, let's just keep it simple math with $10. So 28 million records sold worldwide would generate $280 million to the record company. En Vogue was only getting 2 cents an album sold per member. 4 girls in the group. They only getting 2 cents. If your album was selling for $12 or $15 or $10, they only made 2 cents. Where's the money going? Real simple. En Vogue was put together by a production company, right? McElroy and I forgot the other gentleman's name, but it's 2 guys that put En Vogue together. They created En Vogue. #1, it's their production company. It's not the ladies that's En Vogue's company. It's their company. They brought En Vogue to the record label said, we'll pay for them and pay y'all to produce them. Period. That's the bottom line of that, right? So they did all the production. They're going to get more of the money because they're the producers. It's their group. They're going to get more of the royalties. It's their group. But let's go down the numbers. 28 million records sold, $280 million probably came in. Would break down to each girl making 2 cents an album. The group itself probably would make out of that, that's crazy, right? The group itself will probably make $5.6 million off of the 28 million albums sold. So the 4 girls, 5.6 million for them. But then you have to understand, you have to break that 5.6 million down between 4 people. So they probably making about 1.3 each, 1.3, 1.4. Hit them with 47% taxes. Now take away the federal tax, is going to take away from your 1 point whatever. So now you probably down to like $670,000 each. Okay, they went on tour, they did this, they did that. But you got to remember something. They paid for nothing. You pay for nothing when you're selling records. It's crazy how everything gets paid for you, right? Everything that's getting paid for them is going back to the label or the production company. The production company's gonna be like, we pay for your makeup, we pay for your hair, we pay for all the dresses, we pay for y'all to eat, we pay for your transportation, we pay for y'all stage, we pay for the mics, we pay for the engineers, we pay for all of that. So even if the group was making 75, back in them days, 75,000 a night or 50,000 a night, and they went on tour for a couple of, 2-3 months, you thinking you coming on with some bread. You not. You're really not. So there you go with them. Left Eye. And salute to her creativeness. Left Eye was an amazingly creative person. But when she broke it down at the Grammys about how you can sell 10 million records, that's $100 million up. That's $100 million regardless, even if the records was going for $15 or whatever, but the album brought in $100 million, okay? Sell 10 million records. And remember, TLC is now the best-selling group ever. They've sold more records than anybody. TLC has sold more records worldwide than Destiny's Child. Sorry. Flies is killing me out here, so I'm gonna make this quick. They've sold more records than Destiny's Child. They sold more records than everybody. En Vogue sold 28 million, I think. TLC sold 37 million. So that's over $400 million group. Okay, you have to look at them like that. And by the time everything was broken down for them, they still had no money. But mind you, I always say, let's be fair. You shooting $1 million videos back then. Every time you shot with Hype Williams, that's $1 million. That money going back to the record label. That's going back to LaFace. It's not going back to you. That's coming out your budget. Y'all didn't put up $1 million to shoot the video. Y'all was granted $1 million to shoot a video. Waterfalls was either $1 million or $2 million. #1 song on the charts. Huge successful record. On radio, everywhere. But everything costs. So whatever cost is going to be recouped is coming back. But that's also because of the contracts that they had. They wasn't making a lot of money on points. They wasn't. So they had to deal with what they had to deal with. But their contract should have been redone and restructured over for the benefit of them. I think the #1 girl group who actually made more money than all of them was Destiny's Child because they had a better contract. Their structure was just different. They didn't sell as many records as they did, but their structure was different, so the girls had better deals. I'm not saying that some of them wasn't struggling, but they had a better deal than the rest of them. 112's deal might have been a 360 deal. I don't know for sure, but 112 didn't make no money. The best year 112 made, each one of them, I think, was in 2017. They probably made about $65,000 or a little bit more, maybe $100 grand a guy. And they was popping, but they didn't make no money. They didn't make no money. If they wasn't on the road, they wasn't making no money. They wasn't. We all know how New Edition got robbed on their first two contracts. They got robbed. They didn't even, the first 2 or 3, everybody was broke. But they had bad spending habits, but they also had bad contracts too. They had no financial education like most artists. Toni Braxton sold so many records, this, that, and third. I believe she said, reportedly, she received a, check this right here. She received a publishing check one time for $2,000. Who knows what her contract was like with LaFace? You know, people don't realize that word recoup is huge. Don't take a recording deal. You want to be an independent person, so you want to be a partnership, because that 360 deal will kill you. Long term will kill you. They even have 720 deals now. They got 50-50 deals. They got 180 deals. Anytime they go past 200 on the deal spectrum, they're digging into your touring money. As long as you stay 110 deal, or better yet, go into it like Cash Money went into it. Go into it like No Limit went into it. Do everything yourself as much as you can financially. So when you actually go into a record label, you're not going to them for a deal. You're going to them for a partnership. And you let them know, I got all this taken care of. I'm making my own music. I got my own recording studios. I got everything. All I want y'all to do is put it in the stores. All I want y'all to do is help me stream it. I'm going to do the artwork. I got everything. Maybe we can work hand in hand on marketing, because y'all marketing genius. You might have more marketing availabilities than I do, but I got my own street team. The more you do yourself, the more money you keep for yourself. So if you losing money, if you don't have to sell, not losing money, but you don't have to sell $1 million. You don't have to go platinum to make platinum money. Look at what Prince did. Prince educated the music business as one of the biggest artists of our time, and said, I don't even own my own stuff. When I realized it, Warner Brothers even owned my name. They own the name Prince. So I really, if I don't want to do something, they're making me do something. And I can't even make another album under Prince, because the next 3 albums that I owe them, they own. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give them all the B songs and C songs that I didn't put on my other albums, and I'll just give that to them and I'll hand it in. But I'm not doing nothing for y'all. I'm not recording under that name. I'm not touring under that name, because they own the name. When a record company gives you a deal, they're buying you. They own your presence. They own your image. So whatever you do, they own. The only person that I knew who had an amazing deal at the time, I'm sure people get better now, was Michael Jackson, when he shocked the whole world and he had a recording contract with Sony where they was giving him $2 an album. $2 an album. It's unheard. You still might not get that today unless you're independent. If you're independent, you can get the whole $9, $10. But no artist was getting $2. Come on, man. Nobody got a $250 million recording deal that included your own record label, movie and production, merchandise, all kind of stuff. Michael Jackson was getting it, but rightly so. He has the #1 selling album of all time. Thriller sold almost 100 million albums worldwide. I don't see nobody topping that or getting close to that no time soon. But either way, understand, where's the money going? It's going to your management. It's going to whoever your management has to pay. It's going to your security. It's going to your daily living expenses. Is going towards everything that has to do with you being an artist. Where's the money going? So you have to be educated to say, where is this money going on? Where is it allocated? And once you figure all that out, then you understand the music business. So if you don't understand the business, you have to re-educate yourself, read certain books, do certain things to your due diligence, where you can sit back and you can say, no one's going to fool me. No one's going to jerk me around. No one's going to twist me around. I'm not going to do all this work. And like with En Vogue, you sell a great album, you know, it's a monster album, and your producers is the ones buying the mansions, and you're living with your parents. That's not gonna happen. Either way, my name is Kadane Sterling. This is Mogul Talk 1-on-1. I'm so happy y'all was here. Tell somebody about it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with people who need it. All right? Because that's what we're here for. And I'll see y'all on the next one.